Welcome everybody, this is Pigskin Paisanos. My name is Paul and welcome. We're going to go over your starts and sits for week 3, and today we are only going over the Thursday night game between the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we're going to start talking about this Jacksonville team. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, surprisingly, we're gonna first start off with two guys that you really have to consider for your flex spot, which are going to be Chris Conley and DJ Chark. Both of these guys in both games they have played have really performed pretty well. Last game, Chark went off for 7 catches. Had 9 targets. Okay, led the whole team in targets last week. It looks like Minshew likes him, and he popped off for not many yards. He had 55 yards and a touchdown. However, he's a guy definitely worth flexing. And then Chris Conley, 4 catches, had 5 targets, 73 yards. So both of these guys seem like Minshew likes to throw to, and because of that, you're gonna sit D.D. Westbrook. So why are you sitting D.D. Westbrook? Well, he had only 3 yards last game, which is pretty pathetic, and that 3 yards was on only 1 catch, and sadly only 3 targets for D.D. This is the guy that we thought was going to be the #1 guy out there. And so right now he has only 3 yards last game and 33 yards total in 2 games. Sorry, Dede, I got to sit you, a guy that I was very high on this year. So you're sitting Westbrook, you're starting DJ Chark and Chris Conley. You're also going to start Leonard Fournette. So Leonard Fournette last game had 21 touches last game. So it seems like Fournette is getting the workload. He's getting a workload that's RB2, RB1 level, and he also had 6 targets out of those 21 touches. So he's involved in this passing game more so than I believe him to ever be. He had 4 catches for 40 yards, and on the ground, only 47 yards on the ground. However, we'll see. I mean, last week he played the Houston Texans, which are a very good defense as far as we know. So now he's playing the Tennessee Titans. So I would expect Leonard Fournette to go off and probably have over 100 yards from scrimmage in this game. So you can fire him up as an RB2 in this game. And Gardner Minshew. So Minshew, look, last game, Minshew was okay. He had only 213 yards passing, only 1 touchdown. He was pretty mediocre. He did fumble 3 times. So he's kind of a risky play here. But, again, he's pretty accurate. Besides those fumbles, he really doesn't make a lot of mistakes as far as throwing goes. It looks like guys on his team are healthy right now. So if you're in a 2 QB league and you want to stream someone, I think he's worth streaming. However, if you have better options, don't really start Minshew right now. Just wait and see if he can really build like another good game like his first game he had. So again, for your starts for Jacksonville, you're starting Conley, Chark as flex options, you're starting Fournette as an RB2, and you're starting Minshew as a possible QB2, and you're definitely starting Jacksonville Jaguars defense. This defense was pretty good, and why were they good? Well, Jacksonville Jaguars D played very well against Watson and that Texans offense. So Watson, who we would say is an elite quarterback, had only 159 yards passing and only 1 touchdown. And this is a guy that has one of the top wideouts in football, in Hopkins. And Hopkins didn't really do anything either. I think he had 40 yards and really didn't do much. So again, Jacksonville Jaguars defense, you can start them confidently in this game. Marcus Mariota last game was sacked 4 times, had 2 fumbles, I believe. So you can start him up, start up Jags defense with confidence. They're definitely going to cause turnovers. The Titans, moving over to the Titans now, really, because the Titans are so feast or famine, and because they really run through Derrick Henry only, the only one that you're starting on this Titans team is Derrick Henry. You can fire up Henry as an RB2. Henry last game, Derrick Henry, he had a decent game. He had a decent game last week. He had 18 touches and had over 90 yards total. So he's definitely the only one that I could see that gets a workload of any kind. You are sitting everyone else on this Tennessee Titans team. You're sitting Marcus Mariota. You're sitting Walker, the tight end. He's been pretty average. I mean, yes, he's had the most target share so far. However, unless you're really desperate for a tight end, he's only maybe streamable if you're really desperate. But other than that, you sit Walker and every single wideout, Corey Davis, A.J. Brown, Adam Humphries, Tajay Sharp, you're sitting these guys. You're not starting any of them right now. All of them just are not getting the targets that would require even a flex to really feel safe with a flex guy. So yeah, and right now, I mean, we also called it last week where we had this guy Brown go off for about 100 yards, but he had a very low amount of targets. I believe he had only 4 targets. And look at right now, last game, what did he have? He had 5 targets for 3 catches and 25 yards. Pathetic. He's a guy you sit. So again, you're sitting almost everyone on this Titans team except Derrick Henry. And yeah, and you can start the Tennessee Titans defense just because you are facing Minshew. Minshew did fumble the ball 3 times. He's still kind of a new quarterback out there, so the Titans might force turnovers. We saw in week 1 how they had over 25 fantasy points, which was very good against the Colts. They had 8 fantasy points, and they held Brissett to under 200 yards passing. He did have 3 touchdowns, but he had under 2. So that's a pretty good, as far as the amount of total yards that they gave up, that was pretty good. So I would say you can stream them as a defense, but definitely the defense that you want to favor here is Jacksonville. But again, you're really only starting Derrick Henry and maybe the Titans defense as a stream. And so those are your starts and sits for this week. We do expect Jacksonville to win this game, but we'll see what happens. It's really all about Marcus Mariota. Can he really use his legs? Can he perform? We will see. Let's see how Derrick Henry does. But other than that, guys, it seems like Jacksonville is going to run away with this game, and it's at Jacksonville. So let's see what happens. Thank you again.